Testing, testing. Okay, here we are, Wickerson Studios 148th script. I'm just going through my curve nodes and creating some cool scripts while I go. What I have here is taking a look at curve closest point object as nodes. And so what I did was I went in and, as you can see, I made this strange stool. The stool itself is, you could seat it differently and come up with these different iterations. Some of them work, some of them don't, but I think it's a nice, cool design. And when they cross over, they kind of had trouble lofting and sealing, so you'd have to do something again in Rhino. But otherwise, basically you're getting at some pretty cool shapes. I'm just kind of going through the iterations, see if I can grab one I like. Sometimes the surface drops below or above. Obviously, I want to find out which one goes best above it. There's a seed that I like. The spheres can change their diameter along the bottom, even though I like these kind of engineered small little bearings for legs. I've got a ability to play off of the length of those legs. I can play off the amount of those legs. 3 obviously is what it's set to minimum. I like an odd number. And then I throw through just an extrude. So here's your object. And there it is. Let's take a look at the script. Let's disappear, go into here, and say, okay, what are we dealing with? Well, we're basically dealing with populating a geometry, a curve length, to end up with a curve. That curve is totally interchangeable very quickly by populating 4 points, which you can make more points if you want, but the least lower points actually count really works well. I'm going to bring that curve to the nearest object, and the object's going to be a sphere that's moved and polar rate. That's it, those spheres. And then once I get my points that are connected on the inside and the outside of that, I can line them together, and those are the legs. And those are totally crazy, wherever they want to go. I merge those together. I take a patch on the top surface because that's a nice way to close up a non-planar curve, make it into a surface, and then I have a pretty simple tool that I constantly use using a construct to domain, isotrim, deconstructing the BREP, then sending the surface into a curve surface closest point, then I send the surface into a evaluate surface, and then I send it into an extrude, surface into extrude. And what you end up with is really a nice little surface like that. You play off all 3, put them all on, choose the middle one. You've got a pretty cool chair. And as we decide what we want on here, we can change the height very nicely as to how thick we want that to be. Yeah, it's a simple script I use again and again. I actually have it in my snippet tool. I've shown it on other videos, and it's Extrude Surface 2, which really works well. You can find those on tutorials anywhere, and you can change around what you want to have for legs. And of course, some of it offsets or falls over, but what a nice customized, insane stool. Now if I go from 4 and I start jacking this around, okay, obviously I don't want anything less than 3, so let's just take our minimum down to 3 and up to 10, and let's just play with that slider and see what we end up with. Some of it drops, some of them default out, some of the surfaces don't cap. So you just have to be careful with that. And there's an interesting one that I cap. Well, it twists through, so there's a problem with that. So yeah, you make a script, you tinker with it, you find out what form you want. All of these can be taken to print. They can be fab, but since they're fluid in motion, you probably want to cast these. And I think this would be a nice series of bronze cast or aluminum cast stools. So for those interested in me jumping into a little bit of this, I'm going to do the same thing when I go into curve proximity and extremes, and I'm going to apply that to another type of script. Might think furniture for the next week or so. So keep an eye on this if you had an interest and wanted to see some furniture design. Yeah, I mean, these algorithms are not meant to be an automobile, a house, a building, a car, a piece of furniture, earrings, like food. I don't know, whatever you can imagine. But when your script works, start having fun with it. And I'm not doing anything besides providing simple surfaces and pipes to mathematically and geometrically defined curves that are being randomly generated in Grasshopper for Rhino. Like I said, there's nothing here until I bake it. And if I so choose to bake it, then you can start to see how elegant the form is that you don't need outside of it. And there it is. What a wonderful little tasty thing. Let's take it over to technical view into pen mode. And if you've been watching my videos, you understand that I really like this mode of looking at things, and then into the rendered mode. And there you go. And you can take off your grasshopper so you can just see the object. I wouldn't be sketching or drawing these. I'm algorithmically making a script for these, and I absolutely love them. So whoever wants to work with Wickerson Studios on furniture design, I'll do jewelry, I'll do furniture, I'll do buildings, I'll do whatever you want. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully my students take more and more interest in this digital media, algorithmic and computational design in sculpture at KCAI. Thanks for watching.